Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about my first impressions for the Monster Hunter collab returning to Puzzles and Dragons. So, basically in Japan, Gung-Ho has announced that Monster Hunter will be returning with significant buffs, improvements, evolutions, cards, so on and so forth. And this first impressions video will give a little basic sneak peek of what is to come, and the subsequent article and whatnot will be released when this collab comes to North America/EU. So, Monster Hunter Collab is one of the more powerful collabs to have come to had, and this is because it did offer us some of the most delicious and tasty cards at the very top. And it was considered a relatively top-heavy collab because Diablos and Amatsu, while being amazingly powerful and game-changing, they were incredibly hard to roll. So the average player was left to think, is it worth rolling in? Because I want to have value at the bottom because that's most likely what I'm going to roll. Maybe with the rolling rates being disclosed, things might be changing or shifting up. But again, I'm going to make the presumption that the top chase cards are like less than 1%. So again, we want to look at value at the bottom. And Monster Hunter Collab, when it came the first time, did not have that much value at the bottom. Like, it was basically just a top-heavy collab. If we compare it to other notable Rare Machine events such as Heroine or the Dragon Caller Dragon Bound one, Dragon Caller Dragon Bound had probably the most value of any collab at the 5-star or lowest rarity value. So it makes sense for more new or less IAP friendly players to actually heavily invest in that collab because you're going to be gaining mostly 5 stars anyways, but at least the 5 stars you gain are very good and very powerful. So Monster Hunter unfortunately doesn't remedy that problem. Like, it's still not such great value at the 5-star level, but they do add one 5-star card that is quite exciting. And in addition to several new cards, they're actually introducing many assist evolutions for cards, and this can possibly make them more desirable inherits overall. So a new 7-star base card. It has a Fujin style active. It has void damage absorption for 1 turn. So it's Fujin, but what's the twist? The twist is it changes all orbs to fire, water, wood, light, and dark. So a light Kali style board changer paired with a Fujin active or Fujin style damage absorb. So that means Sopdet, Heradragon, Vishnu are all countered by this new Thunderlord, whose name I can't pronounce. Leader skill is 4 times attack and damage when 5 colors are matched. That means you have to get all 5 colors, so rainbow teams struggle to begin with. Damage reduction only occurs when you match the 5 colors, and then 3 times attack and damage reduction when hitting 7+ combos. So I don't know the exact damage mitigation amounts, but the problem is it's very hard to have a reliable 5-color board every turn. And considering if your 2 leaders are 24 turn cooldowns, it's hard to actually budget it. Like, old Sharius Roots relied on Dragon Teams and Rainbow Activation, and that was challenging to actually make it work. Raw Dragon's still challenging, but at least he always has his defensive multipliers present. So this person here, like, maybe if the 7+ combos is a sizable amount of damage reduction, maybe it can work out, but it's going to be challenging for the most part. Their awakenings are not bad overall, and you could actually use this as a reasonable sub on your teams if you need a Fujin style active, because it's bind immune, it's got lots of fingers, it's got 1 7 combo awakening, so it's at least providing some damage. So that can be a way to cut down on your charge up time. But what's better about this card, which is actually very hard to see, I can barely see, like, my eyes are still dilated, so like I can see it there, but it's too bright. They have skill charge as one of their awakenings. So skill charge means this guy charges up every turn, basically a free self-haste if you match 5 colors. So obviously as a leader, it can synergize and charge it up quicker. It can make the cooldown basically 12 turns instead of 24. But again, it's still a little challenging. Having like a light Kali style board changer would probably be more effective as a leader. But if you're using him as a sub and you're using something like, say, Diablos Anubis, it's not too difficult to get all colors. You basically are missing red and blue from Diablos Anubis already, so that's not hard to do. Skuld is pretty much a shoo-in, and No Hime is also great as well. So it's actually quite easy to charge up their skill charge for that Fujin style active skill. Can have great applications in solo mode. And then they have an assist evolution. As an assist evolution, it doesn't look like it's anything particularly special. It's got time extend, skill, bind resist, and attack. Nothing that great. I don't think it's necessarily tasty enough to change as an assist evolution, but it does have very high stats as an assist evolution. So you get very high base stats plus the extra awakenings. Skill bind resist, yes, it could be helpful, but again, maybe those Liu Bei farming teams could benefit from a skill bind resist if you need a Fujin counter. I'd probably want to keep it as a sub because that's actually a very powerful sub to begin with. So I don't think I would do it, but again, I'm probably not going to roll it anyways. Brekkie Dios is a new 6-star card, and it's got a very interesting active skill. They deal 300 times light attack damage to a single target, and then changing the top and bottom row to jammers. So this 300 times attack damage is most notable for speed button farming teams that need to button down a very high health card that can't be done with something like, say, Raw, because they have more than 77,000 health. So by dealing 300 times attack, and you inherit it onto something with very high base attack and co-op boost awakenings, you're able to deal spectacularly high amounts of damage and potentially button through something with, say, like 1,000,000 or so health. Now, this card is actually quite powerful without it being inherited. It's got very high weighted attack, it's got 7 combo, it's got double Devil Killer, and yes, it does have an assist evolution, which makes it even more powerful as a button active skill. So now we gotta think, are we gonna use them as a sub or as a special button inherit? So as a sub, the double Devil Killers is quite meaningful for light teams. It does open up new opportunities for light farming, say with Yogg, or say like a light based Zeus verse, which you don't even care about, to be honest, but more so for Yogg. Like say Cosmic Trinity, if you don't have any pixel, you can use this to easily one-shot the Cosmic Trinity bosses that is not the dark one, because you deal 9 times damage, and it's a way to easily blow through something very quickly. So it can have value and merit there. The only downside is the active skill is way too long. It's 18 turns to charge up, and that's quite challenging. So now we think, can we use them as an inherit? So as an inherit with their assist evolution, you get basically 100 more, is it 100 or 50? You get a bit more attack. So this bit more attack can go leaps and bounds on a card with the co-op boost awakening, because with that co-op boost awakening, they're able to basically get 50% more stats in co-op. So button farming, they do massive damage, and then they have this extra little bit of attack on top of it. If they're light as well, even more stat transfers. So I feel like double Devil Killer, wow, nice. We do have things like we do have options like Chazelle, who has 27 times because they have 3 Devil Killers. So it's kind of like, well, is it really outperforming other options? And Chazelle has a much lower base cooldown, so you can easily inherit something over top of it. And then the 7 combo, yes, it's great, but we have better options for 7 combo cards. So I mostly feel that this is going to be almost transformed into an inherit for most players who get it. Next is Barren. And Barren has got 3 triple TPAs, but it's their active skill and then subsequent assist evolution that's actually going to be quite powerful. So their active skill is an Amino style board changer. It's water, light, and heal, and the twist is you get 2-turn delay. So you get a 2-turn delay and a tri-elemental board on a 14-turn cooldown. So light and water teams are going to love this as an active skill because it's going to basically enable their teams to function so much better. So it's a blue-based card to begin with. So if you inherit on, say, Amino, who would sometimes have a difficult time inheriting a stat transferring active skill, can now utilize this card. And as a 5-star rarity, this is actually a very powerful card. So this is tremendous value at the 5-star value overall, I feel, and this is a great card to have. As their assist evolution, they get bonus recovery and bonus attack. So a stat transfer is nice, like at least that's universally beneficial. It's not like, say, a bunch of light orb enhanced light orbs, which only work for light teams. At least this is universal for all teams, and they can benefit from that. So I like the direction this card went in terms of the new cards available, and the fact that it's bringing value at the 5-star level is tremendously potent, and it can help justify rolling in Monster Hunter Collab if you have light or blue teams. Now, we have apparently new units known that are going to be revealed. I guess when that comes out, maybe I'll talk about it there. But we have these new assist evolutions. So assist evolutions obviously want to utilize a useful active skill in an ideal world. But in worst case scenario, you're basically inheriting it for the skill delay protection because it's unskilled and it provides beneficial awakenings. So looking at these assist evolutions, we're looking for sexy awakenings. Now, 4 enhanced fire orbs is definitely very sexy, but the problem is what team utilizes enhanced fire orbs? Not very many for the most part, so it's not that special as an assist evolution. We got 3 poison resist and an attack boost. So 3 poison resist can do some interesting and exciting things if you are needing poison reduction for some strange reason. Maybe you might find some value out of it, but again, can provide interesting uses. We got, again, triple jam resist, but again, the ninjas already provided these resists of like jammers, poisons, etc. So it's like thinking maybe you want to swap the evolution for this particular active skill instead of using the ninjas. Now we have 3 attack boosts, and that's great, but the problem is Tigrex's active skill is not a button style active skill, so it's not actually helping that card necessarily. They get bonus damage, but they're making a jammer, like there's jammers involved, so not so great. And now we come to Astalos, who actually has one of the most interesting assist evolutions because they have 3 killer awakenings. My eyes don't work very well, so I can't really tell, but it's more so like the evolution and the redeemable monster one, and I can't see the top one very well, unfortunately. So it does provide something interesting, but the thing is, where are we going to use these killers most effectively? Like, we have the Pirate Zerog Infinity, who has the ability to have double redeemable monster killers. So that means you can basically obliterate a pre-draw no problem. One card's dealing 9 times damage to the pre-draw. So that 10 million defense is basically like 1.1 million. Very easy to overcome. So we're not getting the same efficiency level of stacking killers, because usually when you get killers, you want to stack them as much as possible. Having one, yes, it's great 3 times, but when you get to 9 times, that's when the magic happens. So I don't know where we're going to have overlapping 3 stacks, and the fact that Zerog Infinity is a farmable card and pre-draws are an issue to a certain extent, I feel that this is going to be kind of going to waste. But as someone pointed out in the comment section, if you inherit this onto A10, you'd have a bazillion number of killers, and that makes their day apparently. And then Gammoth has bonus health, basically just a stat transfer. So if you leave him unskilled, he does have a decent active skill, but if you leave him unskilled on a water card, you can inherit on a water card, get that nice extra chunk of stats from the same attribute, and then the big chunk of stats from the assist evolution. Again, similar applications for Amatsu. Similar, like you get the same big health. I can't see if that's, it looks like health and attack. It's hard to see. But stat transferring, you want to generally, if you don't like the active skill, leave it unskilled. And it was World Send who talked about having all the killers and their life will be complete. So hopefully this video gives you a little bit of insight of what's to come for Monster Hunter. Like, it is improving the lower value because now we have assist evolution, so those cards that may have had possibly interesting inherits can be utilized a little bit more. But we also have a new Fujin style active and a great card to actually use it on. Like Beach Fujin, yes, is great as well. This is great for different reasons because it can charge up very fast. We have also the Skillbound Resist assist, but then the Sumire can do that as well. I would not change it. We've got something that does 300,000 times attack light damage to a single target. Bottom and top rows change to jammers. Delaying active, a tri-elemental board changer with 2-turn delay, amazing for blue and light teams. And then new assist evolution. So let me know what you think about the Monster Hunter collabs in the comments below. Again, these are first impression videos. It gives you a little taste of what's to come, and then when they come to North America officially, I will write about them. So hopefully you all have a fantastic day. Wish you all the best of luck in your own pad adventures, and I've got you in my sights. Happy puzzling. Bye.